Pombon, the absolute cutest thing that the Pokemon world has seen in a long time. And with the Gen 10 games on the way, I thought why not hack those new Pokemon into an old Pokemon game? And then why not attempt to beat the entire game with just the one starter, which of course will be Pombon. It's going to be tough, it's going to take a lot of planning, it's going to take a lot of fainting, but we will survive. But with that out of the way, let's lay down the law. I can only use Pombon, obviously. Other Pokemon can only be caught for HM purposes. Enough said, now let's do this. So we started off like normal, except we had to choose between the Gen 10 starters, but of course, we are choosing Pombon. And now it's time for our first battle. Our rival of course chose Gekwa, and we just had a pound sketch battle which I thankfully won, so that means we are off to a good start. I went to level up Pombon until level 10, got Oak's Parcel, and quickly went to battle the rival again. We were then off to the forest, battled all the bug catchers, and along the way Pombon learned Bite. And then it again was time for the first gym, which is the first of many type disadvantage gym battles that Pombon has. We did well against Camper Liam, but then it was gym leader time. Geodude went down after 2 bites, then out came Onyx. I used Bite again and it flinched, then I used another bite, but this time it didn't flinch. And then it used Rock Tomb, which lowered my speed, but of course I only needed one more bite. But with the Rock Tomb that just lowered my speed, Onyx managed to outspeed me and also beat me. So yeah, first loss. We are not doing good. This challenge is going to be harder than I thought. I went to level up until level 17 and yet again went to battle him. But sadly, this still wasn't enough. Then we battled and leveled up some more and learned Roar. So then we went for a third attempt. 2 bites KO Geodude, and then it was again time for Onyx. I used Bite, then he again used Rock Tomb, and things again did not look good. But then he outspeed and instead used Tackle. I have no idea why, but then I just used Bite and beat him, so I am not going to complain. We got our first gym badge. By the way, Pombon's poor teeth after this gym. We moved on and battled everyone in sight until Mount Moon, then battled everyone in sight in Mount Moon, then we chose a fossil which I will never be able to use. Then it was gym number 2, also with a type disadvantage to Pombon. The first header wasn't an issue. We also learned Odor Sleuth, Odor Slave. To this day I don't know how to pronounce that, and let's be honest, who has ever even used it? Anyways, then Diana went down with ease, then it was time for Misty. Staryu went down after 2 bites, but Starmie did not just beat me, it did outspeed me, meaning I actually have to level up some more. I then decided to go north and battle this guy. His entire team got bit to death. I then battled all the trainers until Bill, then went back to Misty, where things went a lot worse. She still outsped and beat me. So I moved on and battled until level 30, and then I went back just to lose again. Maybe this challenge is impossible. I then decided to move on as if Misty just doesn't exist. After battling a bit, Pombon did learn Flame Wheel. I went to battle the SSN and battle all the people for some EXP, and then I battled this guy where I absolutely annihilated his team. How can I beat him so easily, but I can't even beat the gym which comes before his battle? Anyways, we got Cut then left, but then I needed to catch a Pokemon that can learn Cut. Of course, I'm not gonna let this gorgeous Pombon learn stupid HM moves, so I went to catch a Spearhead and taught it Cut. I'm kidding, gotcha! I then traded it for Farfetch, then I taught it Cut, but I totally forgot that you actually need to beat Misty so that you can use Cut outside of battle. So we went back to Misty, and hopefully this time we can outspeed and beat Misty. I battled a little bit more until I could get to level 34, and then it was time. Staryu got one-shotted, and then I clicked on Bite, and finally we outspeed and eventually beat Starmie. This Starmie was such a pain in the butt. Then we went back to Vermilion, beat Lieutenant Surge with the easiest of ease. After this I navigated to my all-time favorite cave. Just kidding, because of course I'll have to again navigate without Flash. How fun! Pombon did learn Slash though. After a few minutes we got out and battled until Lavender Town. I healed up and moved on to Celadon where I bought some X items because I just had this gut feeling that I will need them eventually. Then it was off to the next gym leader, which I actually set on fire. One of the beauties did have a belt though, which was kind of cool. So yeah, we got gym badge like so easily. This is where things again started to look good. I then went to the Game Corner mission where Pombon learned agility. I eventually beat the boss where I encountered an old foe, but luckily Luckily, his Onyx didn't have Nocturne. We bit through his Onyx, then we ate up Hyaon, and then it was Kangaskhan, we also ate along with its baby. It's actually a bad visual, I apologize. But Pombon's teeth are unstoppable. I then went back to Lavender Town where it again was rival time. His Gekko was actually the only potential issue when it used Water Gun, but further on he was a piece of cake to this mini monster mutt. I went up the tower and it was ghost time, where I immediately got knocked out. So I again had to walk back up the tower and battle the ghost again. This time a few bite flinches did the job. That was scary. Get it? Because ghost, I apologize. Next we went to save Mr. Fuji and got the flute afterwards. I went south to battle Snorlax where this happened, so I instead just used Hyo because thankfully you don't actually have to beat Snorlax for it to go away. I moved on and battled my way to Fuchsia City, a place in which I have learned to hate. But on my way Pombon did learn Flamethrower. Besides that, it was again time for the gym. I went in and just stared down my biggest pain in the butt. I beat coughing, then it was time for this stupid muck again. Which, to be honest, I have had nightmares of since my last video. And annoyingly, those nightmares now will continue because Muck actually beat my poor Pombon. I hate Muck so much. So I thought of something. Since Bite did absolutely nothing, I went back to Celadon and bought a load of X items. And this time, I wasn't gonna hold back. As soon as the battle started, I spammed X items. Coughing went down eventually, then it was stupid Muck again. It flinched to a bite, then flinched again, then I burned the stupid pile of waste. I do apologize to any Muck fans, but I hate Muck. Coughing died easily. Wheezing was up next, which I just burned, and that was Koga. I still hate him. I wanted to go south, but then I remembered I need Surf and a Surf Mon. So I went to the safari, caught a Hyaon, because I just assumed that it could also learn Surf like Hyaon, but no, it can't. So I had to go back again and catch a Mon that can use Surf for me. So then I caught a Nidohina and evolved it into Nidoqueen. Then I taught Surf to Nidoqueen. But then I remembered I didn't even get the Saturn Gym badge. So I flew there and did the always exciting 11 floors of the Silph Co. Pombon was just unstoppable. And then it was time for the next battle with this guy, which Pombon handled with ease. Giovanni Bossman was up next. One X item, then a few bites, then a few FTs, and a few more bites, and that's all for Giovanni. I have said it before and I'll say it again. Pombon is a monster. I then got the Master Ball, which I unfortunately will never be able to use. We then took a quick detour to the dojo, then it was gym time. Which of course is weak to Pombon's cute little teeth, as I basically bit through all her poor Pokemon. We easily got our 6th badge. After leaving, I flew to Peloton, which is actually where I got this lovely monster. And it's weird to think, but this journey is coming to an end soon. I surfed down to Cinnabar, did the whole mansion thing, got the key, and then it was gym time again. Now this gym could be an issue for us, as we just can't use our fire type moves. So I then led with an X item, then my Gen 10 dog beat the Gen 1 dog. I bit Ponyta, then it bounced, and in the turn where I would miss, I instead used another X item. Then I used Bite again, Rapidash fainted after 2 bites, Arcanine followed suit. This little dog nearly beat the entirety of Kanto. But now it's time for the final gym, where things are not going to be easy. I went to the gym and battled Yuji, who led with a Sand Slash, which I managed to beat, but then he sent out Marowak, who basically gave me flashbacks of the ghost as he immediately KO'd me. I got healed, went back, and this time instead of battling Yuji, I went to battle someone else. This person had 2 Pokemon, a Arbok and a Tauros, neither of which has a type advantage over me, so Pombon easily beat them. The next person I battled had 1 Mon, and that being Machoke, which Pombon also beat easily. Then we battled another person, and then we battled Yuji again. Sand Slash again went down easily. Marowak was out next. So I used Bite, it then used Leer, and I knew that 1 Bone Mahang will knock me out again. And on the second turn, he actually used it, but thankfully missed. I finished the job and easily beat his other Pokemon despite the double type advantage. I battled the others until I got to Giovanni for one last battle. I led with an X item, then he slowed me down, but I did still outspeed and one-shotted. Next was Ductile, who outspeed and almost knocked me out. And my Bite almost knocked him out. So obviously, you will heal in the next turn, but what I did instead of healing along with him, I used Agility, so that my speed could be back to normal again. A Bite flinch and another Bite beat him. Nidoqueen went down after a Kid Bite. Nidoking was up next, and he flinched, but I got poisoned and just barely survived. Knowing that I will die if I don't heal, I healed on the same turn as he did. Then another bite flinch, then a normal bite got the job done. Hyaon was out next, and just with 2 bites, Pombon has beat all 8 gyms. But the celebrating didn't last long, as I lost the next rival battle to his Gekwa of all Pokemon. I battled him again, and with X items and planning, we beat him. That was tough, and that wasn't even the league battle, so I had to pull my socks up. Next, I got to the cave where the place was filled with tough trainers and Pokemon with type advantages. We fainted a couple of times, but eventually managed and made it out. Now it is finally time for the Elite Four. I ditched my HM slaves and went in with Pombon alone. We battled the first Elite Four member and we lost immediately, so I had to focus. I went in again, and this time I led with X items. Dugong used Surf and almost KO'd, but a few bites worked. Cloyster weirdly then actually helped more than anything else, as when it would use Dive or Protect, I will heal or just use Agility. Then I beat him. Lapras got bitten, Slowbro got bitten, then I used a massive Flamethrower to beat Jinx. And just like that, first Elite Four member down. Next up, I couldn't actually say anything bad about this guy as I normally do, as he does have Pokemon that does have type advantages over me. So I again had to start with some X items. Then bit down Onix, then healed up and beat Hitmonchan, then Machamp. Then he sent his other Onix, and I immediately healed and survived an Earthquake. Then used Bite, then survived another Earthquake, and finished off Onix afterwards. Hitmonlee went down easy. Member number 2, done. The third member was the absolute easiest, as I didn't even need X items. I actually just bit all her ghosts, so off to member 4. I led with X items, then he used Hyper Beam, and somehow this small little dog still survived. Within the turn that he can't attack, I will either heal or agility or attack. We slowly but surely won. Aerodactyl went down shockingly easy, then out came Dragonite. And then I noticed I could have actually caught Jatini to be my Surfmon, but hey, it's a bit late for that. Anyways, Dragonite wasn't much of a hassle, and the same can be said for his other Mons. And just like that, we have one more battle left. This Pombon is nearly a champion, so it's champion time. I used an X item, and he almost KO'd me immediately. Pombon literally survived with only 1 HP left. Hyaon only needed a few bites. Then it was the final Gen 10 showdown. 1 bite almost killed, but it did flinch and got him into perfect HP to not fully heal himself, but instead he used his health item. Then 1 more bite worked, Alakazam got chewed. I used a single Flamethrower on Executor. Then it was time for his final Pokemon, and it was Old Dog versus the new dog. How poetic, as it was out with the old and in with the new, as 2 bites worked. And just like that, Pombon won. Pombon soloed the entire Kanto. Let's hope Pombon can solo wins and waves as well. Well done, Pombon. And of course, thank you for watching.